Hey nerds, what's up? Today's video is going to be a vlog. It is my out of the comfort zone vlog for Sage. Starting off the week, I've read White and Royal Blue. We're buddy reading this, and this is more out of Sage's comfort zone than mine. I've read this before. I really love this book, so I'm excited to be reading this with them. And then I have some books ready at the library that I'm gonna go pick up on my lunch break. I'm on my 10 right now, so when my lunch break comes around in a little bit, we'll go on an adventure to the library to pick up some books. But I'm super excited. This is so I've done one other out of my comfort zone video with Becca from Becca and the Books. Becca's reading tastes are more aligned with mine, and Sage is really, really out of my comfort zone. So it's exactly what I wanted when I started this series, I guess, on my channel, because I wanted to read books that I wouldn't necessarily pick up myself, but that have other people that I love to watch their content are saying that they like. So that was kind of the goal of this concept in the beginning to begin with. So I'm really glad to be doing Sage's reading taste. So we have some of Sage's favorite poetry authors, some of Sage's favorite books of all time, and all of that stuff. So I have kind of a hodgepodge of books that fit different categories that I gave Sage, and then we'll kind of figure out from those what I'll be reading this week. I don't have an exact set TBR just yet, but other than Red, White, and Royal Blue, which isn't even one of Sage's books, it's one of mine. So yeah, I'm super excited about this video, and yeah, I'm excited. So I am also in the middle of a podcast right now, so I'm listening to the Zodiac Monster. It's season 2. Season 1 was the Atlanta Monster. This one's called, I don't know, it's something monster, and it has the Zodiac in it. So there's 15 episodes, and I'm on episode 12. So I actually haven't been reading really at all the beginning of this month. It's May 7th now, and I'm also hating what my hair is doing right now. What? That's better. I haven't been reading that much. So May 7th, and I haven't finished a book yet this month. I'm in the middle of The Color Purple by Alice Walker, which was last month's Goodreads challenge pick from you guys, so I haven't finished that yet, and I'm going to put it down for now and get into Sage's TBR, obviously, and then I haven't been listening to an audiobook, but I have a couple books that are available within Sage's TBR that I can listen to, so yeah. I also, so Sage is very cottage core vibes, and I live in an apartment in a big city, so again, with the whole the out of my comfort zone thing isn't so much the vlogging, it's the reading. But I thought it would be really fun to, at some point in this video, mess with my plants, because I have one planter of succulents that need to be repotted because the soil's really dry, and I also, I just have some work to do for my plants. So I figured that would be maybe fun and kind of cottage-core-y, even though I live in a big city and I don't know what I'm doing. So, yeah. Anyways, that's the intro to this video. I hope you guys enjoy it. It's probably going to be a long one because, like I said, I'm kind of slumpy right now, so I'm a little bit nervous, but I think Red, White, and Royal Blue will help with that for sure. It's why I want to start with this, on top of the fact that we are buddy reading it and we need to start today. And so we're doing 3 chapters a day, but this book has long chapters, so chapter 3, I need to get to page 74, which is right there. I haven't started it yet, by the end of the day. Hello, happy Monday. I am very tired today. We went and saw my stepmom on Mother's Day yesterday and ended up staying out where they live until like 11, and it takes us about an hour to get home. So we didn't go to bed until like midnight-ish. And then my alarm went off at 6 like normal, even though I thought I had turned it off. And so I turned that off because I had set a different alarm for 8, which is like the very last minute I need to get up. And then I was like super stressed out thinking that I wouldn't wake up. So then I just didn't sleep anyways, even though I was trying to. So I'm very tired. But I'm getting places in Red, White, and Royal Blue. We're supposed to be finishing today or tomorrow. I just freaking love this book. I love it. I love it. It's just as good as a reread. Having a great time. And then I just barely started On Earth, We Are Briefly Gorgeous by Ocean Vuong. And I actually messed up. So this Ocean Vuong was one of the authors that Sage said I should read out of a list for their favorite poetry, like poets. But this is a novel. So I am still planning on reading this, but I also have Homie by someone. It's on Hoopla. By Danez Smith. And this is on audiobook, and this is an actual poetry book. So I think I'm going to get this too and listen to this on audio along with They Will Not Cancel Us. We Will Not Cancel Us by Adrienne Marie Brown. So this is an ebook, and it's also really short. And this is a book that Sage has just been talking about for a while. And so I want to pick that up too. So I think that that's an ebook. So I'm going to hold off on that one for right now. But the audiobook that I'm going to pick up first is going to be Homie. And then I am still going to read On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous, just because why not? So once I finish Red, White, and Royal Blue, that's what's coming next. I feel a little bit like I hate this haircut when I don't have it like styled. I really liked how it looked when my hairstylist like did it, and isn't that just like the inevitability of any time you get your haircut? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I like this length on me, but right now I just feel, maybe it's partially because I like haven't been wearing makeup. I like don't feel good today. I feel kind of like a potato. But really, I don't have a whole lot to say because like I said, I'm only reading this right now. I did just finish the 15-part season of Monster Zodiac, or Zodiac a Monster, whatever that podcast is called. I finally finished it. Honestly, I was like disappointed by that. Not that this has anything to do with the Out of My Comfort Zone vlog that we're in right now, but my plants are doing okay. A solid okay. I do have some new growth on the ones since I've replanted them. My not sick cat. Hedwig's all sick, and we're stressed in this house because of Hedwig. But this baby doesn't do anything wrong like that. He just chews on everything. It's fine. He's like, what? Why are you bugging me? Huh? Why are you bugging me? Okay, so these are replanted. So they're just like, this guy is super dead, but I didn't want to get rid of him because like he still has these growths. I don't know. I think that they're savable. And then these look okay. They don't look, some of them look a little bit dry, but some of it looks okay. This guy has some new growth on him, so like, I think he's doing okay. I don't know. This one is really cool though. Okay, so obviously we're, dying. There's a lot of death here. So I had to get rid of the 2 leaves that were over here, but this one has a new growth on it, and right here is a new growth too, so that's good. And I think this has even grown a little bit since the other day. This guy just like survives everything, so he's doing great. And then this pot had a bunch of yellowing leaves, so I took out the yellowing leaves and everything, and then I saw that it has some new leaves. So it has this one, There's a new leaf right, where is it? Right there. This one is starting to unfurl. So, I mean, we're getting places. I don't know. I'm just hoping they'll survive. This guy's doing pretty good too. This recently came, this one was already there, but these ones are newer. So, I mean, hopefully we're getting places. This guy has a bunch of spider webs on him, but he's also thriving. And this one. And then this one's new, so I haven't attempted to kill it yet. Let's look inside. Those two, the one in the blue pot and then the big leafy one, are propagations of this guy. And he just survives everything. He's doing wonderful. He never has any issues. He's still got some new leaves that I just, so like when this plant starts getting too long, then Hedwig and Padfoot can get to it. So I'll flip the leaves over it. So like you can see right here, for example, there's like a flip. So some of the new growth like that is all up here. And then this one, so he's like super dried out. Actually, now he looks like he's been overwatered. God damn it. Well, hopefully he'll survive. We're trying over here. We're trying to be a good plant mom. Is it working? We don't know. Here's my sick cat. Poor Hedwig. He just does not feel good. Is always sick. So he has these like severe allergies of some sort that basically makes him want to scratch his own eyeballs out of his face. So then he's on steroids in order to help that issue. Those steroids also have side effects of themselves, so he usually gets at least one like sinus infection a year because it compromises his immune system. So in March, he got one of those. We gave him antibiotics. It seemed to work. And then basically right after he finished those antibiotics, it either wasn't gone and it came back tenfold, or he got a different infection. We don't really know what happened. When we did some fancy tests to make sure that it wasn't anything more serious, and everything came back fine except for the fact that he like couldn't breathe. So we put him on a different set of antibiotics. Those seem to be working. His sinus infection, like all of the snot and stuff, seems to be getting better. But he's now not eating, which is not good. So I talked to the vet again yesterday or the day before, and we got him some medication that's supposed to help him like with his appetite. As of right now, it doesn't really seem to be working that well, but today he did have a little bit more energy. So I don't know, and we also free feed the cats, so I don't know if Padfoot's the one that's eating everything. I don't know if Hedwig is eating at night and we haven't seen him eat. Like, he definitely has lost weight, so we know he's not eating enough. But yeah, I'm stressed. And I keep going through phases of like, okay, let's try to do, 15 different things that the websites say that you can do to try to get him to eat. And nothing really works. So then I get like super frustrated and it just feels like it's my fault. And it's not my fault. Like, obviously he's just sick. I've done everything I can do. And like, we're going to just hope for the best. So that's what's going on right now in my life. Very stressed. I hate this. I hate when Hedwig is sick. I mean, I would hate when Padfoot is sick too, I'm sure, but Padfoot's never really been sick. So, Hedwig. Yeah, like he's got really low energy and he's just like grumpy. I'm sorry. It's weird too because he like will beg when I come in here. He will beg for treats and stuff, but then he won't eat any of them. And like there's certain treats that he's more picky about or whatever, but even the ones that he normally is like, fucking yeah, still won't eat them. So like that's really what was the main reason why we were like, he must not be eating at all if he's not even eating the treats that he's obsessed with. Like, what the fuck is going on? So anyways, we're really hoping that everything will get better. I went in there to show you plants and then I got distracted by Hedwig. There's more plants to show you. I'm so sorry. Okay, so there's these two plants too. So I have this planter here. So this guy, I've actually almost killed him. So I got this as a Valentine's Day gift 2 years ago, and it used to be like triple this size, and it's a succulent. So it's a succulent, and I put it on the bookshelves, like basically where that plant is up above, but one shelf down. I put him there, and everything was fine. But that's where the AC blows, and so the AC like completely killed like 2/3 of the plant, and only this like branch lived. So I repotted it. I've repotted him a few times, and then just recently put him in this one. So I'm hoping that like this really direct sun and everything will do well for him. I mean, he's been doing okay so far, like since the initial thing. I just feel bad. And then I have this one. This was another propagation that my friend Sierra gave me. It's so pretty. It's like not showing you justice of the color of how bright this purple is. But yeah, very, very nice. So those are my plants. I'm like not a good pet mom, not a good plant mom. Just showing off my failures right now. Anyways, I need to go back to work, but that's the update, which is basically nothing. Makeshift, we're crooked. Makeshift, that's better. Tripods for the win, because I didn't feel like grabbing mine. So I finished Red, White, and Royal Blue. Sage should be finishing it sometime today. I am very excited to discuss it. Yeah, I loved this book the second time around. It's like so overdramatic and so over the top, and like, yeah, I still really liked it. In the author's note, Casey McQuiston wrote, I came up with the idea for this book on an I-10 off-ramp in early 2016, and I never imagined what it would turn out to be. I mean, at this point, I couldn't imagine what 2016 itself would turn out to be. Yikes. For months after November, I gave up on writing this book. What was supposed to be a tongue-in-cheek parallel universe needed to be escapist, trauma-soothing, alternate but realistic reality. Not a perfect world, one still believably fucked up, just a little bit better, a little more optimistic. I wasn't sure I was up to the task. I hoped I was. And I feel like this book really did what it set out to do. I think that the politics part of it is really interesting because we do know what happened, and like there's a couple different tongue-in-cheek moments of like yeah, of things that happened in real life. I really liked that part. That didn't click with me the first time around. I don't know if I can find it, but basically there's this scene where they say something like, there's no way that email servers will fuck up a second election for our imaginary first female president, which is, you know, basically what happened in 2016. But like the book has this commentary, a little bit short, about how like maybe it would be a bigger deal if we didn't already have our first female president, and it's basically like lining up what happened in 2016. So it was really interesting to read it and have that, like, knowing what happened obviously back in 2016 and in the 2020 election. And obviously this was written before 2020, so like it's just a total alternate reality with like COVID and stuff too. Like who the fuck would have known that that is what we would have been living through in 2020. So it was just a really interesting read on top for that reason. And then of course just like the romance is so cute and like obviously over the top and unrealistic. Again, we have the first son of the President of the United States falling in love with the prince, one of the princes of England, who are all like imaginary princes. Actually, Becca from Becca in the Books recently read Red, White, and Royal Blue too, and she was saying that it was weird to read as an English person because all of the English like royal family names in here, most of them are real royal names, but not in that generation. And like, yeah, so it's also kind of a mix and interesting to see from that perspective, because obviously I don't know anything about really the royalty. I don't follow it at all. Like the most I know is that recent Meghan Markle interview, and that's pretty much it. So it was interesting hearing her perspective on that too. It changes it and adds a little bit more nuance even then. But yeah, overall, I like this book for one of those just like quick, like over dramatic, all involved, like over encompassing romance where you just get sucked in. And I think Casey McQuiston did a really good job of that. So really liked this. And moving into some things that are more Sage book related for the rest of this video, I did start Homie, which is the book that Sage recommended for, what's the author's name? Sage gave me a couple different authors for like favorite poets, and Homie is one of the books from one of those authors. I don't know if Sage has read this particular book yet, although I do think maybe they said Homie. I don't remember. It's Danez Smith. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but yeah, I'm almost halfway through. It's a very short audiobook. I'm reading it on 1.5 speed, and it's only an hour and 30 minutes before you quicken it. So I've just been listening to it like when I'm getting ready in the mornings, and it's good. Danez Smith is a Black, queer, non-binary individual, and they wrote Homie. Obviously, they're the author. Hello? That's why I'm talking about them. So yeah, they wrote Homie. One of the poems that I just listened to, so I'm pretty sure it's a collection. Obviously, I don't have the book in front of me, so I think that what I'm reading is titles of different poems. And the one that I just read was really interesting, and it was the first one that was like queer at the forefront of it. Previous to that, a lot of the poems had been mostly about like their Black identity. So it's really good so far. And then I think the next book that I'm going to pick up is They Will Not Cancel Us by, can't remember the name, but it's this one, and it's also a very short book. It's on ebook on Hoopla, so I think I'm going to pick that up next. And then I have to go to the library again because some of Sage's favorite books just popped in and are now available. And then I also need to pick up Such a Fun Age, which is my Best Books Club book for May, so I need to read that after They Will Not Cancel Us, take a break from the Sage stuff, go into that. Slowly evolving into my final form with my cat mask, and back here in the corner, my cat cup, and I've got a cat in the car, in a cat carrier. We're just at the vet waiting for our appointment. Because of COVID, they have us waiting like in our cars, and they'll come and get him. I'm not allowed in, but poor Hedwig. This has just turned into the vlog of Hedwig being ill and also reading Sage's favorite books. Which the books are great. So I wanted to get on here because poor Hedwig, I'll show you him in a second. I'm just so sad for him. Read Homie by Danez Smith. And that poetry collection was really good. I'm always really just like amazed by poetry because it's such an art form. I don't understand it all the time, so I have a hard time reading it sometimes, and it's not usually what I typically go for, only because I think that's super intimidating. Yeah, that one was good. I liked it. I love listening to poetry on audiobook the best, so I'm glad that it was available on Hoopla. And also I'm sorry for the car sounds because I live in a big city. I don't know what to tell you. So, with that said, I started listening to The Death of Vivek Agee. Yeah, Vivek Agee. I don't know if that's the correct pronunciation. I'm sorry if it's not. I think that is, though. By Akwaeke Emezi. Okay, back up. Homie, 5 stars. Yeah, really good. And I did write my poem that Sage requested of me, and I haven't decided yet if I'm going to film it. So there's your cue to watch the whole thing and see if I actually give it to you or not. Because I don't know if I will. I have not decided yet. I'm intimidated. Anyways, started listening to The Death of Vivek Agee by Akwaeke Emezi. So Akwaeke Emezi is a Nigerian author who's been on my radar for quite some time now because of my friend Kelsey, who I went to school with and everything. She and I just recently did a podcast episode all about cancel culture, which I'll link up above if you want to watch it. But then the podcast is also down in the description if you prefer to listen on like podcast app or Spotify or whatever. Anyways, she has loved Akwaeke Emezi's work for a very long time. Yeah, I'm listening to Death of Vivek Agee, and I'm like 12% in. It's only a 7-hour or 7.5-hour audiobook, so it's short, which like, thank you, Sage, for loving shorter books, because I want to like read them all, and so I'm glad that they're shorter so that I can kind of like try to fit in more rather than less. So this is considered one of Sage's favorite authors. That's my ambiance. And yeah, I don't really have a lot of thoughts on it just yet. It's kind of just getting started on what the book is about. And then I haven't picked up another physical book yet. Well, I am sort of in the middle of cancel. We Will Not Cancel Us. Let me see, how far am I into that? I'm like maybe 10-15% into that. Don't have a whole lot more thoughts on it. I did recently discuss that. So anyways, I am going to sit here and actually pick up Such a Fun Age, which is not for this vlog, while I'm waiting for the vet to come get him. And then while he's at the vet, I need to go get gas. Yay. We love it. We love that. That's a helicopter. Hedwig. I'm so sorry. Here it is, my kitty. He just doesn't feel good. He's not eating. He still hasn't gotten all of his antibiotics for the freaking snotty nose that he has, so that's not feeling any better yet. Because that's what's making him not eat. My poor kitty, and he hates the fucking vet, and he already knows where we are. Getting some more phone action here. It's now almost 10 p.m. And I'm just about to get Hedwig from the vet. Basically, I spent almost $600 to confirm the fact that Hedwig has asthma, which we already knew but had not been confirmed because I refused to buy a fucking x-ray, which I just had to buy. And I don't like that. And then, oh, here he comes. Okay, I have Hedwig. So anyways, oh my god, do you see this? That's Hedwig. Do you see this? I thought that was a person. Ew, it's myself. Okay, so where was I? I paid so much money today to basically find out that nothing really bad. I decided I wanted to film this update laying down, but I don't feel like sitting up. Okay, hi. It's Friday the 21st. I have some reading updates and I have a Hedwig update because, again, just life. If you're following me on Instagram or Twitter also, then you'll know pretty much all of this because I've been updating more frequently, obviously, on there than this vlog. So, sorry if it's repetitive, but I did read some books, so that's good. I don't know why I'm out of breath right now, but I finished The Death of Vivek Agee, which is by Akwaeke Emezi, and I've had Akwaeke Emezi's books on my radar in the past because one of my friends is a literary professor. I might have explained this already actually in this video, but she's a literary professor at a college, and she really likes Akwaeke Emezi's work. And Kelsey has recommended to me Freshwater before, which I actually haven't read yet. I did read like the first chapter, but it just wasn't the right time to be reading such an intense book because that book is about like familial abuse and stuff. And this book is also intense. So this book is about a family whose son Vivek dies, and this takes place in Nigeria, and the family is from Nigeria. And it's basically all about like all the people around Vivek and their reactions to it. We get the mother's perspective, which for me was really probably the roughest to read for me, just watching a mother grieve over her son, and like the way that she reacts to everything is just really intense, because this book also has some like trans and non-binary and gay relationship stuff that's going on that was really not accepted by the family and stuff. So that's like part and a big theme in this. And it's just really sad. We also get the perspective of like the love interest and some of the friends who are aware that Vivek is wanting to dress like a woman and be a woman and things like that. And I'm using Vivek's name because in the book, until the very end, we don't get the preferred name. So I don't want to like give that to you as a spoiler, but Vivek is technically the like birth name of the individual. I DM'd Sage on Twitter and was like, all of the books that you made me read are really sad. Why you do this to me? But so good. I gave this book a 4.5 out of 5 stars. There is, the love interest is also a cousin. So, and like, that's kind of part of the stuff that goes on. They like discuss it, but yeah, I don't know. I think that maybe I just was uncomfortable reading the fact that it was a cousin. I don't know. And obviously I don't know really a lot about like Nigerian culture and stuff. So I don't know if that's like really, really, you know, oof, or not, like culturally. So could be not that big of a deal. They do mention it though, as if it's like kind of another thing on top of the fact that it's everything else going on. So I don't know, but yeah, 4.5 out of 5 stars. It was good and emotional. And then I finally finished We Will Not Cancel Us, which was the ebook. It's only 82 pages. It's a nonfiction about cancel culture. And this book is originally an essay that Adrian, I don't remember what her last name is, but Adrian, she originally wrote an essay, and then this book is like updating it and kind of fixing the mistakes that she found in it, such as like the examples she gave and stuff. She goes over all of that and everything. And this book was really good. It is short, but it's really, really dense. So I did find myself like not able to, if I was trying to read too much of it in one sitting, then I felt like I wasn't retaining anything. So I kind of did it by chapter rather than like trying to fully get into it. My Hoopla, because I got this a book on Hoopla, so if you have Hoopla, it's completely free and everything on there. For some reason, my Hoopla though wasn't like keeping my page, so it kept, anytime I would open the book back up, it would take me back to the beginning of whatever chapter I was in. So then like half the time was just spent trying to find my fucking place. So that was annoying. But I gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars. I feel like this book covers a lot of the feelings that I've been having about this like trend or like new-ish like cultural situation that's going on with cancel culture. I feel like sometimes the idea and the process of canceling and calling out and all of that, it doesn't always really get to the root of what's going on, and I don't really know how to put into words everything that I've been feeling about it in a succinct and like understandable way, even for myself. Sometimes it's really, you know, it's so nuanced and so complicated that even inside of my own brain, I don't know if I even have like the capacity to explain what I'm feeling. But this book, I feel like, gives a really good overview of everything I've been feeling. And it's not exactly the same as what I'm feeling, but it's very, very similar to kind of the frustrations or whatever that I've had about the way that cancel culture works, especially online and in the online space and everything. Being part of an online community like this and everything, it's just like obviously a really, it affects all of us who do stuff like this online. I think even more impactful than, in an even more impactful way than it does for just like the general public, which the general public is doing this too. And I think our generations, the ones of us who have been online for the longest out of our lives and stuff, I think we're also affected in a different way even than other generations who haven't had that. So there's all of these like layers and stuff on that too. And it doesn't really go into any of that, but I think that takes part in this conversation too. So it was really good. I really liked it. And I think it gave some good insight on different parts of what's going on with that. And this book was written during 2020. So she does talk a little bit about like the pandemic and kind of how like the isolation and everything maybe has exacerbated some things within the thing, all that stuff, kind of like our exhaustion over the fucking world right now. So yeah, so I finished those 2 books. I still want to read The Seep, which is Sage's other favorite book that they gave me. And I don't remember what The Seep is really about other than the fact that it's like science-y. And I think it's like an end of the world type of a thing. I am going to finish the book that's holding up this camera, Such a Fen Age. I need to finish this by tomorrow morning because the live show for this book is at 2 p.m. tomorrow. And today is again Friday, so I need to finish that and then I will start The Seep, so that'll be the next book. As far as Hedwig goes, I'm actually going to be inserting a clip right after I explain this, what this looks like, but basically Hedwig got a feeding tube put in, which sounded really, really terrifying when initially the doctor had suggested it, and that was why part of what we were considering was deciding if I was under the impression that that would mean he would need to be hospitalized again, so not only, of course, is there this whole, financial situation of what that means, like, can we afford that? But then also, like, is sustaining his life, giving him a good quality of life? There's, like, all of those questions at the same time. And so what it ended up being is a feeding tube. So he had to go back to the vet and get it put in, but then I was able to take him home the following day, and he's going to have the feeding tube for a week. At least a week, and hopefully he'll start eating on his own as well while he also has the feeding tube. And once he starts eating on his own, then he'll have the feeding tube for a week after that to make sure that he continues eating on his own. But we have a recheck in a week from yesterday to check on it and everything. And I have to wake up every 4 hours to feed him, which is terrible, but okay. I mean, I guess I'm doing it. We already agreed to do all of this, and obviously I want him to live and, successfully get better. So, as of right now, there's no underlying, causes for what's going on. It basically was a series of unfortunate events that stem from the fact that he has asthma. He's on steroids for asthma. Those steroids mean that he's kind of immunocompromised, which means he's more prone to infections. He got an infection in his upper respiratory system, so basically he was super snotty. He couldn't breathe very well, and he couldn't smell, and the antibiotics that he was taking for that also was making him nauseous. So combined with all of those 3 things, he just was like, fuck it, I'm not gonna eat. And cats are fucking crazy. They will not eat just because they're hungry. They will end up dying before they get to the point of actual starvation because of the way that their livers work, and that's probably has to do with humans being involved. But all of that's to say that there's nothing wrong with him that's going to kill him anyways, so we're just working on making sure he stays with his nutrition so that he can feel better enough to want to eat. That's the goal. So I'm going to insert a clip right here of me feeding him with a feeding tube for the first time. There's no blood or anything. There's nothing scary. You can't see any stitches or anything like that. It basically, there's a collar on him, and then that collar has a tube attached, and I'm inserting food into that tube. So if you don't want to watch it, that's totally fine. But for those of you who are interested in what this looks like, he clearly doesn't feel well in this video, but it's not because of the feeding tube. It's because of whatever else is going on and everything that has happened before this. So going to insert that here.
I'm in love with you and I miss you. I need you by my side. I'm in love with you and I miss you. I need you. We waste time. I'm in love with you. I need you. I'm in love with you. I'm in love with you. I'm in love with you. I need you. Do you love me?
now, what day is it? Thursday the 27th. And I did finish the last book for the Sages Out of My Comfort Zone. So I finished The Seep by Chana Porter. This book is really, really out there. It was very weird. Definitely not my style. Definitely out of my comfort zone. I do think it was well written. I just was like, whoa, the whole time. So this book follows, in our world, like an alien invasion, but it's considered the softest invasion because basically the alien invasion is called the Seep, and they like go into the water supply and basically make everyone super like content. I don't understand. I mean, I do, but it's very weird to try to explain. So because of all of that, and then also the Seep has like the ability to like morph anything really, like whatever has the Seep in it, whether it's inanimate or animate like a human, you can like shift your body composition or like, yeah. So things like if it's a seeped bathroom, then they'll like, the floor will just start washing your clothes when you do it, things like that. And then there's a lot of like body modifications that different people do, and there's immortality and all this stuff. So like you can be partially a bear, you could like shift from female to male at any point, you can have two bodies. One of our characters also chooses to go backwards in time and like restart as a baby, and you can choose to do it where you still have like your own mind, or you can do it where you go all the way back and like live as if you were just recently born. So it's very like out there, very weird. And so we follow this main character named Trina, whose wife decides to become a baby again, and so then Trina is left by herself, and Trina is dealing with like depression and all this stuff from being left basically, and she is kind of starting to rebel against the Seep. And it's interesting. It's very much a book all about like what it means to be human is what I got from this. It has a lot of discussion on like free will and like, is utopia good for us? Is there a reason to need the pain that comes with like life, or should we have it? The ability to like fix our feelings rather than fix the situation, or like grow through the situation. So it was a really fascinating book. I actually was pretty harsh on the rating, and I gave it a 3.5 last night when I finished it, but now that I'm like talking through it, I feel like it does deserve a higher rating than this, because it really goes through a lot for such a short book. Like, it really does delve into some serious existential discussion. So maybe I was just upset that it was being like in my face about things like that. So I think I'm gonna raise it to a 4.5. But yeah, thanks to Sage for making me read this one. So that is the last book of this Out of My Comfort Zone. I read quite a few really good books and quite a few books that were definitely not my usual cup of tea, but I think the reason that I wanted to do this series is because of getting this type of reaction. So I would probably never have picked up quite a few of these books, but every book that I read this week I really enjoyed. So from Homie by Danez Smith, I don't usually pick up poetry, but when I do, I tend to either really love it or really hate it, and this one was very good. And then We Will Not Cancel Us was already on my TBR, and of course Red, White, and Royal Blue doesn't really count as far as Out of My Comfort Zone because it was a reread and I knew I liked that one. But then The Seep, and I feel like I read at least one more book. What did I read? Oh, The Death of Vivek Agee. I think that was my favorite book of the week. It definitely makes me want to pick up Akwaeke Emezi's other work, Freshwater, which I've had on my TBR because of my friend Kelsey, but I just haven't picked it up yet, and definitely am interested in reading more of their work. So that's everything for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you to Sage for being willing to help me with my TBR, and of course for Buddy reading Red, White, and Royal Blue. And yeah, you have great taste in books, so thank you for getting me out of my comfort zone. If anybody has any suggestions for the next Out of My Comfort Zone, which booktuber do you think I should do or read like, etc., then let me know in the comments. And yeah, I usually make videos every Monday and Saturday, but right now my schedule is really off. I've been dealing with a lot of shit, as you could see in this vlog. Hedwig is very sick, there's other stuff going on, and I am tentatively trying to get back on schedule, but I don't make any promises for the month of June, so we'll see how I go. I'm hoping to at least make one video a week, but we'll see. So please hit subscribe, and I'll be back as soon as I can be back. And I'll see you guys soon with a new one. Peace out. Bye.